Okay, this is Mad Dog 2001 responding to Marcus's video. Uh, yeah, Marcus, I'm responding to you because I think you're missing the, to be polite, I think you're missing the whole big picture if you're going to trade Cutler. Obviously, Denver's backup quarterback is Chris Sims. I don't think that he is ready to lead a team or even be a starter of a team that has playoff capabilities as the Denver Broncos would have with Cutler. They're going to look for someone that is similar to a trade style with Cutler. That's why I don't see them actually responding to Cutler's demands, because obviously who are you going to trade him for? I do see two possibilities, and you actually brought one of these up. And I was actually reading your comments, and some guy brought this up. I don't have it in front of me, so whatever. The trade for Brady Quinn. I could see that actually happening because Denver obviously would need a quarterback in return. So if Cutler's going to get traded, he's going to be traded to a team that has a quarterback that could equal or lesser the value, yada, you know, that crap. I could see him being traded to Cleveland for Brady Quinn and probably like a second or third round draft pick. I could see that possibly happening, and me being a Bronco fan, I guess I'd be okay with that because I kind of like Brady Quinn. Another one you mentioned was him being traded to Miami, but you have to remember, who are they going to trade for? They would have to trade for a quarterback. So if they're going to trade to Miami, that means your boy Chad Pennington would actually be coming to Denver. Yes, I could see that possibly happening because remember, Denver took a chance and signed Jake Plummer back in 2004, a veteran quarterback that had a lot of, that was basically the same age as Pennington is now. So I could see Pennington going to Denver and actually having tremendous success there, going into that system. But it wouldn't be Cutler for Pennington straight up. They'd probably trade him for Pennington and probably, yeah, one of your draft picks. That's probably that would happen. So if Marcus, if you want Cutler in Miami, he would be traded for probably Pennington. They're not going to trade for another guy down the road or some just a draft pick, because he's basically our franchise player on the team. Well, was, I guess. And I just won my game. Sweet. Another he won't go to Minnesota because there's nothing in Minnesota for Denver to trade for, besides maybe they're not going to trade for anybody but a quarterback. I just do not see this happening. And even if they did draft a quarterback in the first round, I don't think they're going to feel comfortable bringing a rookie and having him start. And this is no disrespect to you, obviously. This is just me sharing my opinion, just like you shared yours. And I figured this might get you some views. Another team I could see him going to is the Cardinals. I could see that happening, working on a trade. If they were to trade, they would trade for Leinart, because considering Denver wanted Leinart originally before Cutler anyways. Back in 2006 when they drafted Cutler, they were trying to trade to get the Leinart pick, but they settled for Cutler, and thank God they did that. Well, not right now, I guess. Just my opinion on the whole Cutler situation. I honestly, I don't blame Cutler for being upset. I wouldn't call him a crybaby, because this happens in sports a lot. Players feel disrespected and they just want out. I mean, it's just like, for an example, you're working a job and you kind of get sick of the situation, so you decide to change either job titles or get out of that job. Obviously, what Cutler's thinking of doing is not more like changing job titles as in like another team, still doing the same thing, or doing the same thing for a different organization, like switching stores or something like that. So look at it like that instead of him being a crybaby, because it's just like if you were to change a job. It happens. Something bad happened. But I would love to see them, and I don't think they're going to do this, but I would love, because Shanahan's obviously not managing that team anymore. This is something Shanahan would do. would trade for Chad Pennington. People don't like Pennington, but people didn't like Plummer either, and no one gave Plummer a chance when he was in Denver. And Pennington, I think, is a little bit better of a quarterback than Plummer was. At least he's more accurate passer, and he actually can pass in the pocket, something Plummer could not do. And and Pennington doesn't throw the ball deep, but you wouldn't have to. Not when you got they got 4 running backs this year, and Brandon Marshall and I forget the other guy, Eddie Royal. So with those guys as your wide receivers, and you got frickin' Daniel Graham and Scheffler as your tight ends, who needs to throw the ball deep? And if you need to throw the ball deep, well, then you throw it deep. You got Brandon Marshall catching it as opposed to like Ted Ginn or someone over in Miami that might not be as experienced as the Denver wide receivers are. No offense. But I could see him in a good spot, but then again, like you said, as Bill Parcells would just sit and not do anything about it. And, if you get a chance to bring in a franchise quarterback, as Cutler is, you got to go for it. And if that means trading your veteran QB, yes. But what you said about having Cutler being brought in to develop with Chad Henning, dude, if Cutler plays for Miami, Henning is not playing at all. Let's just put it that way. He probably won't get a start ever as long as Cutler is healthy, because he's not going to be developing anything with them, because Cutler isn't old. He's not a veteran. He's only been in the league 2 years. 3 years. So he's a quarterback that's going to be playing forever. And basically, Pennington if he went to Denver, the situation with him in Denver, basically he'd be a transitional quarterback like Jake Plummer was. He'd get like 2 or 3 years, and they bring a new one in when the high draft class comes in. Or they might draft a quarterback this year and work him into the system. But yeah, I could see him going to either Miami or Cleveland. So don't count Miami completely out, because they have some interesting offers they could make on the table. And I know if you're Denver in a situation, you're going to be trading for a quarterback, because you don't want to put the ball in the hands of Chris Sims or Patrick Ramsey to start the season. That's just pretty much flushing your team down the toilet. This is Mad Dog 2001. Check out some of I think his name is Cyber Cluster Bro, the guy I'm responding to. He's a friend of mine. Check out his vids. He's very he knows his shit when he starts talking about offensive lines. He does tend to ramble a little bit, but don't we all? I'm out.